Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, after doing the flip through for you of this beautiful book, volume 2 of Mandie Manzano's colouring book, it took me a long time to choose an image to do colour with me for you. And so I went on her website and Google and Facebook. Mandie Manzano has a Facebook page too. And because the image I've chosen, I wanted to get the colours right. Now, just before I get started with our colouring, I wanted to let you know that Mandie has some free pages. If you go to her website, which I will link down below, or her Facebook page, she's got some free images that you can download to colour in while we're all in isolation, which I thought was really lovely of her. And there's some lovely images. So let's get started. The image that I chose to do a colour with me is not bad, just drawn that way, Jessica Rabbit. Excuse me. Now, I went through all the images, but she, again, time and time again, I kept coming back to her. I thought there's so much that we can do with her beautiful dress and the background. Yes, Lucy's going to attempt a background. She just kept coming back to me. So I have, like I say, I've looked at the images of Mandie Manzano's finished works, and I'm going to try and replicate one of those as best I can. Now, I'm not going to show that on camera because I'm worried that for copyright for Mandie Manzano's work that somebody might try and copy it, or I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with showing a finished piece of hers. So what we'll do is replicate it together. Now, as you're probably all aware, Jessica Rabbit is a cartoon character, and she was in I can't think, Roger Rabbit, the movie, and she was like one of the first animated characters that one of the first animated movies that we had alongside humans, and she stole the hearts of lots of young men, I can tell you. So the colours I've selected, they're not necessarily going to be what we're used to seeing in our usual beautiful portraits, but because she's a cartoon character, but it does work, and I have practiced it. I haven't just thrown myself into doing this video. I have practiced the colours that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. I do have a new camcorder, so I'm learning the ropes with that, but it's an awful lot easier, and I should be able to get images up and videos up for you a lot quicker. So I'm going to zoom you in, and we'll go and get started on her face. Okay. Alright, so the first colour that I've chosen to put in where we want the shading is Rosy Beige, PC 1019. Now, in Mandie's image, she's got a lot of her face here is in shade, as you would imagine, because of her beautiful hair over her face and down her neck here. So I'm going to use Rosy Beige to put in all the places where we want shadow. So I'm going to start up here. Just a very light hand. I might need to turn her a little bit. I'm going to fill all this in with Rosy Beige, just very lightly. Now you're probably thinking, oh my god, Lucy, you've lost your mind, particularly when I show you the other colours that I'm going to be using, but honestly it really does work. I have practiced, and that light might be I have practiced, and it does come out really well. So sorry about turning the page, I can't reach. Okay, we're going to do a little bit around this cheek, down here. Okay, we will go back over that. But, okay, the next colour I've chosen, you're going to scream at me saying, no, you can't use that. Maybe you will. Maybe you've already found this combination for yourself and like it. So I'm going to be using beige, so PC997. Now I'm not lifting the Prismas up to the screen because last time it caused the camera to go in and out of focus, and I really don't want that. It's very frustrating when you're watching it. So where we've done the rosy beige, we're going to do a very gentle join the line, our fade out line that I've been talking about, and go over the rosy beige and add in the beige too. And you don't need much because it's just such a very small area. Okay, there, beige. Now, another probably controversial colour, but you have to remember, like I keep saying, that she is a cartoon character. So I'm going to add in cream. That's going to go over the beige and over the fade out area. Now this is going to be to give us that highlight. We are going to use some more traditional colours that we're all used to using in our portraits in a minute, to give her a bit more of a human look. She might be cartoon, but we don't want alien. Okay, so cream. I wonder if I can just change my lighting a bit. It's night time when I'm filming, and like I've said to you before, if you watch my other videos, I can't put the overhead light on because it's directly above me, and it casts such terrible shadow. So, right, we're going to use a bit of peach. And you'll be thinking, thank God for that, Lucy. You know, all these random colours you're putting in. Okay, and we just turn her a little bit. Now we're going to go over all the rosy beige and beige areas with our peach. Just lightly, no pressure. Just checking you can see everything. Okay, and we're still leaving that area that I haven't gone over yet. We're just still leaving that with a cream edge. Okay, sorry, there she is. Right, now we're going to go in with peach. Just going to give it a bit of a sharpener. It's another one of my little mascot small ones. This is light peach and this is 927. And we're going to go over where we put the cream and bring that in very lightly. Going over all the areas that we've covered in its entirety. So she's looking a little bit pasty, so I'm going back in with my peach. Make sure that you can see. There we go. Putting cream on now again, and this is just to help blend it out. Back in with, where's my brush? Back in with light peach. There we go. There. Okay, brush that way. Let me lift her up, see if the lighting's any better. There. So we've got some good shade on her face. And if we want to just bring out that highlight a little bit more, we can just blend with a white, and that also works really well. Alright, I'm going to try turning the overhead light on because I've got the lamps on, but I just want to see if that does work. If that's any better. Well, that might be actually. Okay, so there she is. That's the idea behind her skin. So I'm just going to put a, looks like I've missed a little bit there, so I'm just going to put a bit of rosy beige in. Around there. Now I'm not too worried about going in the black lines at the moment because and the pencil will sort of dull them out, peach again. The pencil will dull the black lines out, but you could use a Posca or a Biro, anything black that you've got that will deepen up those lines. Okay, I'm going to leave her face alone because I always faff and fart about and spoil things. So, should we start? Let's start on her body and her arm. Now, she's wearing gloves. This line here is indicating that she's got a glove on, and again down here. So we've only really got to concentrate on this top half, and then she's got her bare leg here and a tiny bit of her leg showing at the back there. Okay, so let's do her body. Again, I'm not changing the colours, I'm using the same colours, and I'm going to put the shade in round her neck, rosy beige, and the rosy beige is going to be used for all the shadow areas. And actually, having practiced this combination to do this colour with me, I really like it. If you blend it in really well, it does actually make a really nice skin tone. And I've said before in my videos that I'm not particularly great at doing anything other than very, very pale complexion skin tones. And so this one, with the beige on top of the rosy beige, adds a really nice depth to the skin colour. I hope the big light on is better. Okay. So I'm just really outlining her where I want the shadow, very, very lightly. And move around. That's under her arm. And when we go to do her dress, I can zoom in a bit closer. I'm just at the moment a bit worried that I'm going to, because this area is so tiny, that I'm going to lose you in shot. So along her collarbones, making sure that you go under her arm, and this part under here in Mandie's image is all quite shadowed, so I'm going to fill that all in with rosy beige. And round her shoulder here, because of obviously her hair, might make it seem a bit darker. There we are. There's the rosy beige. I might need a little bit more around her cleavage there. There we are. Okay, now we're going back in with beige, which is 997, and same as we did with her face, we're going to go over our blend line and round everything that we've previously coloured. over the rosy beige as well. I'm just going to turn it so I can get to her neck. And this will help to blend that rosy beige out and leave a blend line for our next colour. And I'm just doing it very lightly. And turn her this way. Right. And this collarbone. So yeah, I don't know if you didn't catch the flip through of this book. Sorry, I can't speak. You'll know that I contacted Mandie Manzano to get her permission to use her images because she's had such difficulty with people stealing her images and turning them into diamond paintings and such like. So when she replied and giving me permission to use the colouring books that I'd purchased, I couldn't believe my luck. It was just amazing. So I'm going back in now with Peach, and I'm going over the rosy beige with the peach very, very lightly. And into that area of beige, so that all three colours meet and start to blend together. Okay, same here. I'm not pressing hard, a little bit more pressure than before, but not hard. Oh, I'm in your way, I'm sorry. Okay, down here. There we are. Now I'm going to get the cream, and I'm going to fill those soft edges in with a bit of cream, going over the entire thing. Turn it rather than going out of shot. She looks a little bit like she's got an angelic glow about her. At the minute. Okay, there's our cream. There we are. Now, back in with Peach. Sorry. Okay. Then we're going to bring in our light peach. We're going to go over the cream and bring that in the area that we haven't filled in yet. We're going to start to blend those out to meet. So a little bit more pressure than we were using before. And we can always go back over any areas that we feel need more blending. And often in skin we have to do it over and over to get a smooth appearance, even in a small area. Well, I do. Keep doing that over there. Oh, and she's beginning to come together. Now, if any areas don't feel like they've blended out well enough, a little bit of beige back over the area seems to sort that out. So round here, if I now go back over with a little bit of beige, you see, yeah. And when I've listened to people while I'm learning, people saying, you know, they've often been asked questions like, oh, well, why did you go over that colour? It's a waste of time. You're just colouring over it. But having done this for a while now and practising those techniques, they really don't just colour over it. They blend together, almost like mixing paints. And it changes the colour that you're laying down. Right, there she is. Now I might off camera do a little bit more blending, but you don't want to sit here all day and watch me filling her in. So on her leg here and this other piece of leg I'll do off camera, and complete that then. So shall we start on her dress? Let's do that. Let me just have a sip of tea. Oh yes, that's better. Right, let's start on her dress. So the colours I've chosen for her dress are Crimson Red 924, Scarlet Lake 923, and Carmine Red 927. So I'm going to use the Crimson Red as the darkest. I've got Mandie's picture up here on the computer and I'm referring to where Mandie's put in the dark. So everything that I'm colouring in is how Mandie Manzano's got it in, well, as best I can. How Mandie Manzano's got it in on her image. So I'm going round the bodice with the deepest of my colours, which is Crimson Red, just checking. There we are, that's Crimson Red. Now I'm going to go in with Scarlet Lake and I'm going to go over my blend line. I can't see again, sorry. Keeping the shape of the bust area, filling it in and then leaving a blend area. Okay, there. Now I'm going to take the lightest of all the reds, which is Carmine Red, 926, and I'm going to fill that in. Fill those white spaces. Okay, we go back to Crimson Red and we'll go back over the deepest of our colours, fill in all the white caps. And like I said, the black lines will get dulled out by your pencils, but if you've got a steady enough hand and you trust yourself, I don't know that I do, you'll be able to go back over those with a Posca or some other kind of black pen. Okay, then the lightest of our colours again. Oh no, just put a big streak on it, I'll have to rub her out. Carmine Red, sorry. Yeah. Now I might just want to change that. I think I need a bit of a more of a subtle blend there. There. Let's give it a bit of a brush. Okay. Let's see if I can rub that streak out. Steady the camera. Okay, so the other part of her bust top is going to be done the same as that one. And then her bodice here comes down here. We're going to have dark underneath and dark at the bottom. So here I'm going to bring that our deepest colour in. We're going to fill that in, not too far. Then underneath the bust area, just checking you can see, we're going to have Crimson Red, the darkest colour. Come down a little bit further, so we forget to leave our blend line. Okay, then we're going to go in with our next colour, which is Scarlet Lake. Go over our blend line. And bring that down. Okay, bring this one up. And then meet them together with the Carmine Red. Straighten her up now. Let's go over all that. Fill all those white spaces. Okay, I'm going to go back in and deepen them up. So this is our Crimson Red. There we are. And down here too. Okay, in with the Scarlet Lake. Let's see. Okay, and then Carmine Red. There you go. Okay, so that's that part of her dress. So here, she's going to be dark here. So our deepest colour. You're probably all screaming at me that you know what colour that is. But without looking, I can't retain it while I'm doing the filming as well. I just can't hold the colours in my head. I know which ones they are. I know which ones to pick up, but I just can't hold it in my head. Okay, so that's nice and deep. And then we're going in with Scarlet Lake. Bit of Scarlet Lake there as well. And then we're going to bridge the gap with our Carmine Red. Okay, and I'm just going to go over that with the mid-tone just to give it a better blend. There's a bit of a line there. Alright, now rather than bore you to tears with colouring each section of her dress, I thought we could do a bit at a time. If I just show you where each of the deep parts is going to be on the dress, then you'll be able to fill in the rest by yourself. So in this section is going to be our deepest colour at the top here. And then we're going to carry on with the usual colours. And here, this is the deepest section. And that's going to come round here. Okay. Then this big large section that's coming off her bodice here, that's going to be dark at the top, kind of meeting up with that section that we've already done. And we're going to come down with it to this swirl. Let me just move to this swirl here. So we're going to come down. Not forgetting to leave yourself a soft line for blending those other colours in. Okay, and then that's her leg there. So this bit here is quite dark in these bits here, so quite a little bit of that, quite a lot rather, of the dark tone. And then round her hip here, this piece, we're going to put a deep part there. Okay. And then the bottom sections of her dress here, this is going to be deep. Where you would expect the folds in her dress to be. Yeah. Okay, there's that bit. Again, this piece here, and all along this edge. Let's start here. So we come down with some depth, and then let me move my hand out the way. So I'm just kind of mapping out the deep areas for you, so you'll know where, then how to carry it on. And then here we're going to come up here too. Because you'll then just blend in your other colours. And we might want to come down a little bit here. Okay, that's that bit. Just checking, this bottom bit is, there's quite a lot of dark in this bottom bit. So we're going to come up, kind of following the arc shape. I'm going to trim the bottom of this page off, so I'm not too worried about. So, okay, that's deep colour. I know you can still see all the white in there. Like I said, I'm just mapping it out for you so that before I go off and finish it off, you know where to go with the colours. This bit's dark. I'm going to leave a tiny section there for blending in. And then over here, be careful to remember that that is her leg, that little bit there. Just there, that's her leg. Over here, in front of her leg, we've got this dark bit here. And that's going to come all the way down this edging. You can see all the way down here. Until it kind of touches that swirl, and then keep the arc. There we are. And then, remembering that that bit's her leg, we need a dark bit here. Okay, leaving ourselves enough to blend in with. Okay, and then this piece here is also dark, so following on from that one, follow the shape that Mandie's given you and fill that in. There we are. And where it goes in thin here, we're going to add some dark in there too. Okay. Alright, let me zoom out. It looks terrible, I know, because we've only just done, I've only mapped it out for you. Let me zoom back out. Alright. Okay. Oops, sorry. So, I've moved around quite a lot. There is the mapping of where her darks are going to be. I've missed a little bit down here, look. She needs some dark here. And just a little bit there. And obviously you can do it however you want to, but I'm just trying to copy the image that I've got from Mandie in front of me. So that's where I'm going to put the darks in. The rest of the colours will be the same as we've used for the bust area, and blend them all in together. So you'll go from Crimson Lake into, see, told you I couldn't remember, Scarlet Lake, and then into Crimson Red. So I will finish up that dress, and I'll meet you back here in a minute. Okay, see you in a second. Bye. Okay guys, so I'm back, and I've coloured in, as I said I would, her dress, and I've done both parts of her legs. So let me bring her up to you. I've done a bit of smoothing out on her skin with just the same colours, light peach and then a little bit of peach. There's her dress and her legs. So she's beginning to look more like the Jessica Rabbit that we know. Okay, so in the image I've got in front of me, she's got purple gloves on and purple eyeshadow, and her lips are bright red. So I thought we'd use the deeper of our reds, the Scarlet Lake, to fill in her lips. So let me zoom you in, and we'll do that. I've clamped it over the zoom. There we are. Okay. Now I've tried to shore up my camera a little bit, because I noticed when I checked the last clip that it was quite wobbly. So I'm sorry about that. Okay. Very tiny area to colour in, quite fiddly. There. Okay. So she's now got herself some bright red lips. That was Scarlet Lake. Now the purples that I selected to do her gloves and her eyeshadow are Parma Violet, which is, I'm just going to give it a quick sharpen, tiny spaces. Parma Violet, which is 1008. I'll put it up here. Put my brush there to stop it rolling off. Parma Violet. Lilac, which is 956. And the final colour is Grade Lavender 1026. There. That works better, doesn't it? Camera's not going to keep going in and out of focus. Okay, so there's the three colours. Now, on her eyelid, and I did notice on the clip that I hadn't done around her eye, and I went back and, like I said, smoothed the skin out and blended that out, and I just put a little bit of light peach above it to keep it quite light. Okay, so going in with the Parma Violet, I'm just going to do the very base of her lid. Then I'm going to go in with Lilac, and then the Grade Lavender, and blend those out. There. We brush that off. Okay, go in again Am I in your way? I hope not. Grey lavender. Okay, there's our eyelid. So, I'm wondering how many of you are doing any of these colour alongs with me. And I'm going to have to get a lesson from one of my sons on how to use Instagram so I can set up an account. I'm not really much sure about it. I think I could set up a Facebook page. I do have Facebook, a private Facebook. So because I'd really love to see some of the images that you've coloured. Do you feel that you can email me if you've done a picture and you're pleased with it and you've followed along with anything that I've done? I'd love to see them. Okay, so Parma Violet. We're going to go around the top of her glove here. Come down a little bit, just to give it the illusion of round. This is her glove here. Thankfully I can colour over that red where I'd gone out of the line. And then come down the side, and this will give us the illusion that the item is round rather than just flat. Okay, don't forget to leave a bit of blend out space. Okay. And then we're going to go back in with Lilac. Go over that. I wanted to say a huge thank you to all my new subscribers. The channel's growing quite quickly, which I never in a million years thought that it would, and I'm so pleased and thankful to each and every one of you, because it's given me a real purpose. And in the weeks preceding me doing this channel, I'd kind of felt a little bit lost for one reason or another, which you guys don't want me to go into, but I'm waking up, even in the situation we're all in at the moment, I'm waking up in the morning and thinking, oh wow, what can I do for the channel today, or who's subscribed, have I had any comments? And it's lovely to be part of the community. So yeah, a massive thank you to everybody. Okay, there's that glove. And I'm going to go back in with the deeper colour, so the Parma Violet, and just darken that up around there. And I'm aware that this new camera is so efficient that it's showing up all the little spaces that you would never even notice if you weren't so zoomed in, that you haven't coloured in. So making me a bit paranoid about people thinking that I haven't coloured it in properly. Okay, there's that glove. And we're going to do the same. There's that glove. There she is. We're going to do the same with this one here. So I'm going in with Parma Violet. And I'm going to give her a deeper band round here. And I'm going to go up here, same as we did before, giving ourselves colour and a fade out line. Same up here. Around here. Got to follow that little bit of curve, because that would be the crease of her elbow. And then along here too. Now, yeah, this, I think I mentioned in the last video that this image was lilac. This image was, I think, it still is, available through Diamond Art Club's website. I did link it in my last video as a diamond painting, where she's called Not Bad, Just Drawn This Way, and she was hugely popular as a diamond painting. I'm sure she still is. Just everything you could want really in a diamond painting. Glamorous and glitzy. There we go. And then back in with the grey lavender. Okay. There we are. I'm going to go back over again, fill in the white spaces. This is cardstock that I'm colouring in. There is a link to the cardstock I'm using in the colour along that I did of a very nice colouring book. If you find that video, the link's in there. So it's 160 grams cardstock. I mean, it's incredible to colour on, it really is. But you will need to well, it helps with layering so that you're not so heavy. For me anyway, not so heavy-handed. Because it does leave those white spots behind, and you then go in and fill them in. So it really helped with me with blending. It's really nice cardstock. So yeah, check out that video if you wish, and the link is in there below. Okay, I'm quite pleased with that. There she is. Okay, she's really beginning to look glamorous and glitzy. So, Jessica's hair. Let's see. I've got 4 colours this time for Jessica's hair. Let me do the same as I did last time and lay them out as I give them a bit of a sharpen. She is a redhead, so I'm going to be using mineral orange. Let me make sure that you can see. There you go, mineral orange. Worked last time. Why does it never work again when you want it to? Oh, it will in a minute, hang on. And I'm using goldenrod. That. And then I'm using yellow ochre. Yellow ochre. And the final colour, my lightest colour, is sand. Okay, let me leave those on screen for a second. Just have a sip of coffee. Okay, now the way that I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my practice page here. The way that Mandie has drawn it, she's doing the lightest part up here, which is, are you in shot? Yeah, the lightest part up here, as if the light's coming down on her. And then this bit is going to be our lightest bit. Now I have got sandbar brown out. I don't know if I'll use it, but just in case that I want to deepen up that orange. So I'm just going to leave that there just in case we do need it. So I'm going to go in with our mineral orange, and I'm going to start on this outside bit. I think this bit here, I think that's probably the easiest to tackle to start with. And as we've done with all the other things before, I'm going to do a light touch of mineral orange. I don't want to do too hard because I want to blend the colours in so it's not really obviously bright orange. There. Okay, so that's mineral orange. Then we're going to go in with goldenrod. I love this colour. It's a really pretty golden colour. Okay, same as there. Making sure I've got a blend line. Now we've got 4 colours to fit in each of these sections this time, so you have to kind of be aware of where we're placing them. Yellow ochre. So that's going to go over the whole thing. And making sure that you've got a blend line. Okay. There. And then our final colour is sand. And I'm going to go in and go on top of everything. Blend that out. There. There. I think that looks good. Okay, so let's do the crown here where Mandie is indicating that there's most light. So what I'm going to do is work up from the base here upwards. So on this piece of hair here, this section, which is lovely, it's why I love doing Mandie's paintings, because these divisional lines make it really good. Okay, so we're going to have our mineral orange at the bottom. Did you get that? I remembered the colour. Mineral orange, over that with goldenrod, and that goldenrod just seems to sort of dull down that really bright, well, it's not bright, but really orangey colour. Okay, then we're going to take the yellow ochre and we're going to go over that, and we're going to get lighter as we go up, and this will hopefully give us the impression that the light is hitting her from the top. I think in the original shot of this, if you look it up on the internet, the original image of this, Jessica stood under a spotlight. But I want to do it as Mandie's done it. So, there we are. And then we're going to take our final colour, which is sand. There we are. Go over everything. Okay. And then we're going to do the same for this piece here. So I'm going to do it. Oh, sorry, let's put you in shot, Lucy. That would help, wouldn't it? Okay, let's do a tiny bit of mineral orange, a hint goldenrod, just a hint again, because this is just a small section, yellow ochre, Making sure to go over that orange, give a blend line, and then get the sand. There we go. And go over all of that. Look at that, she's a knockout. Alright, now down this piece I'm going to do a darker edge, so I'm going to give her here I'm going to follow this line round and in here okay, making sure I've got a blend line. There we are. I'm going to take goldenrod, I'm going to start to fill this in with goldenrod. Making sure I just give a soft edge to that mineral orange. Okay, then I'm going to get my yellow ochre, I'm going to go over that. All of this. And then I'm going to fill that all in with sand. Okay. Fill in all those gaps. Now, I was wondering whether to use the sandbar brown, because it's a very subtle brown in that dark area there. But I'm not sure that I will. What do you think? There's an option for you if you want to deepen up her hair, but I quite like it as it is. Lends to that cartoon aspect. So again, same here with her hair. I'm going to make sure you're in shot. And I'm going to colour that in mineral orange. And then the base here of her hair, mineral orange, not too much. I don't want to get carried away. And then I'm going to do very, very carefully around her face here, mineral orange, just a little bit. And in here, because this would be darker because it's underneath the rest of her hair and covered by her face. So a bit of mineral orange there. Okay. Then I'm going to get my goldenrod. We're going to go same as we did before, back over that, bring that down, back over the mineral orange, both in this little gap. Back over that. Okay, we're going to get our yellow ochre, finish that gap off. And we're going to bring that down. Bring bring that up. Okay, and our final colour is the sand. Put all that colours in. Okay, I'm going to go over that. Sorry, I missed that little bit there. Right, let's repeat. Golden rod. Oh no, sorry, mineral orange. I knew I'd have to mess it up. I knew it. Mineral orange, and I'm just doing it lightly. Careful round her. Are you in shot? Can you see? Bring it down a bit. Round her eye, especially with my shaky hands. Bit in here. There. Okay, golden rod. It's beginning to deepen up again now, look. And the layers are building. Golden rod in that dark bit too. In that little. There we are. Golden rod at the bottom. Get our yellow ochre. Go over all of that. Yellow ochre at the top here too. I'm going to get the sand. Alright. Don't know if you can hear that. It sounds like someone's playing the trumpet outside. Okay, let me bring you out. There she is. She's really beginning to come together. So she's got her eyeshadow on, her gloves, and her typically cartoon yellow hair. Now I'm hoping that shows that where the light would have been on her. I'm not very good at that, but I have followed Mandie's image. Okay, so I'm going to go off, finish my cup of coffee, and then, wait for it, yes, we're going to come back and I'm going to do a Neo Colour 2 background with you. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Bye. Okay, so I'm back. I've had my cup of coffee and a bit of a rest, and I'm back. Now, we're going to tackle this background together. Now, I've laid these out. These are our Neos, the colours that I'm going to use. I'm going to zoom you in so that you can see. Okay, let me leave them laying there. Of course, they're going to turn over, aren't they? Never mind. Okay, so we're starting from the lightest. Is pale yellow, then we've got Sahara yellow, then we've got lime green, light olive and jade. Now what I want to do is create a, let's go back out again. Oh, Lucy, there's only 2 ways to go and you still get it wrong. I want to create a haze around her. So starting from the lightest, going out to the darkest. So I'm going to start with I'm just checking that you are recording. Yes. Starting with the lightest, which is pale yellow. We're gonna go around Jessica. Okay, so we will come back in. See if I can get it right. No. Okay, so I'm going to use the edge of the Neo, and I'm just going to colour her in. Very scary for me, because you do realise if I get this bit wrong, I'm going to have to colour all this again and come back on on camera as if nothing's happened, and I'm ready to do the background with you. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so I'm just, you can't see, I'm just literally side of the crayon putting some colour down. This is very pale, it's a beautiful yellow. Okay, round her head, some scribbles. You actually don't need that much of Neo's to get good colour down. Unfortunately, it's not going to cover that little bit of pencil mark that I accidentally did. Let's move her down. Alright, so that should give us a bit of a haze. I am going to move back out rather than keep moving the page. That's in. Okay, so that was pale yellow. Now I'm going to be using Sahara yellow, and I'm going to go round that our haze. Same principle, and I'm just going to combine the two colours. And I'm not adding, let me go out a bit more. There we go. And I'm not adding too much colour, if you can see. You see that? Just literally scribbling colour on. I'm following that initial haze that I put down. Okay, so that was Sahara yellow. Now I'm going in with this lovely colour, lime green, and doing the same. A little bit of crossover where the yellow was, and following Jessica's shape down. A bit round, where are you? Just checking. A bit round the top. Again, a little bit of a crossover, following Jessica's shape round. That's literally just scribbling. Now I'm going in with light olive, and the same thing. Bit of a crossover, not too dark, not too much. I don't want to obliterate that lovely lime. Following Jessica's shape down. Okay, light olive. I might just put a little bit more lime in there, bring that out a little bit. There we are. All the way down. Following Jessica's shape, and again I'm going to put in more lime. It's quite a, and I don't want quite a pale colour, and I don't want it completely obliterated. There we are. And then just as a final light touch, I'm using jade green, and I'm going to fill the rest of the page in very lightly. Just scribbles with the side of the pencil crayon. There we are. A little bit along the top here, not much. Crayons along the edge of here. Right, I'll lift her up. Here she is. What a mess. You're thinking. I know. Right. Now I'm going to get my trusted water brush. It's just a cheap one from Amazon. I don't think it's got a brand on it. No, it's just like a set of 5, I think. And I've got a dishcloth that I keep handy for this. So I'm going to go in with the pale colour first, and I'm going to go in round circles. And I'm going to bring that very pale yellow as close into Jessica as I can get. Here. You see? I'm not worrying about any of the other colours for a minute, just this pale yellow. Following Jessica down. Okay, around this bit. I'm going to wipe off my cloth, wipe off my brush on the cloth. And I'm literally just like circular motions. Brush it off again. And I'm following that, filling in that colour and following the line of Jessica's dress. Okay. Now let's go into the brighter yellow. And I'm like swirling it in together and pushing it out towards that next green. Go in from the pale and out towards the darker yellow. Okay. And keep going. Following her dress round. There we go. And we've got this side. Let's do this side. From the pale yellow where we'd left it, push that out into the Sahara yellow. Push it out. Can you see? Just pushing those colours in together from the pale into the brighter yellow. And again, just following down. There we are. Okay. Just going to make sure that's it. Okay, now we're going into our lime green and our light olive. And we're going to do the same. We're just going to push out. I'm just going to clean it off when I get too much of the dark on. Push out from the light to the dark. I want it to be a hazy background. I don't want solid chunks of colour on this. I just want it sort of a soft blend. So I'm keeping it moving and always going from the lighter colour into the dark. Yeah. Just going to give my brush a bit of a squeeze, get some more water out. Okay, and then I'm going to stick with this side and we're going to work that out. I'm going to put some, just put some paper behind so I don't ruin my mat. There we are. Might need a little bit more of that. So I'm just going to take some off the edge, plop it on. Okay. Well, I might need to go over and give that last turquoise a bit more colour. So instead of soaking the whole page and not having enough, I'm just going to put some in, because I don't think there is enough. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to blend that in. That will go, but I'm going to let it dry off a bit because I'll start pilling the paper otherwise. I'm going to let that section dry off, like I said, and we'll blend that out. More water on my brush. So one thing I did learn about using Neos to do a background is patience. So you're going to see those marks there, but if I keep working at it, it's just going to pill the paper and you're going to spoil the image. So you're going to have to let that dry in between adding any more colour. Okay, I'm just going to turn that on that side. And then let's come over to here, making sure I've got enough water. There we go. And I'm going to keep going. Go back to the pail and bring it out. There we are. Just clean off my brush, just on a plain cloth. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that side, the paper's quite wet, so I have to wait. That side's blended better, if you can see. Let me move that, because it might be flashing the picture out. But there's still places that need working on. But you've got to wait in between, so I'm going to have to let the paper dry. She says, still fiddling with it. I'm going to have to let the paper dry, and then I'm going to come back to you when the background's finished, and we're going to put some extra details on Jessica's dress. Okay, see you in a sec. Okay, so I've done my background. I've trimmed the paper down, as I said I would. That's why I didn't worry about the bottom of her skirt. So there we are, there's my hazy background. Now the one final detail that I want to add, I mean we can all use stickles too, and I might do at a later date, but I want to add a few white dots using the Uniball Signo Impact, and I just want it to give the illusion of a bit of sparkle. So let's come in. Let's see if I can manage to do this. Can I? There we go. So I'm just literally going to put some little white dots on her dress to indicate sparkle. So I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to keep it upright. As you know, my hand shakes really badly, so oh, it's not going to work. Hang on, let me just scribble it. Okay. There we go, she's working now. So I'm just putting a few dots, you see that? Just to indicate that her dress is a bit sparkly. One there. Okay, where else? Oh, where else shall I put them? Around her hips, I think. I'm making a mash of this, aren't I? You can't see a thing. Can you see? There. So a few on her hip. Let's do some detail here. There we go. There's a few there. A few here. There. No skill involved, just a few dots. Let's put some up here. 1, 2 there. Yeah. I don't want to go overboard so that she becomes like a polka dotted dress, but if I then, when this is all fully dry, then go back over with some stickles, just some clear, or some clear glitter acrylic paint, then that will give us the shine and just enhance the look of it. Okay, so I'm going to do a few more up here. I'm just going to follow Mandie's lines. You see that? I'm going to miss that bit out because that's in the middle. I'm going to put some up here. Just give us some sequins. A few dots in here. My own shot. There we go. I might just do a little bit round her knee. Get it going again. Ah. Okay. Let me come back out. That's in, Lucy. Okay, and move her up. And there we are. One finished Jessica Rabbit. I'm really pleased with how she came out. I like her. I might add some stickles to her, I'm not sure yet. Or glitter acrylic paint, like I said. I've got some folk art glitter acrylic paint. But you will see that at on my finished pages at the end of the month. So there she is in all her glory, Jessica Rabbit. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and thank you so much for following along with me. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, bye bye. Well, I guess it's not goodbye because I can't turn my camera off. So don't forget, while I'm thinking about it, that if you've got any of the images that you've done while you've coloured along with me, don't forget, please email them to me. I'd be more than happy to look, and I'd be so grateful. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.